Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Here comes the. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Blitz. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Have some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge, take the door off your bed, pop up off all of your friends. Man, please, this shit ain't cynical. Man, no. You ain't built for a skirt as a nigga can be. It's what sound like when I'm coming, when I'm coming, when I'm coming for ya. It's what sound like when I'm coming, when I'm coming, when I come for ya. It's what sound like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that.
What up, what up, what up, football fans? Welcome to another episode of the Blitz. I'm your host, Big C, and you all know the co-host, Mike Jones. What up, Mike? I can't hear you.
How you doing, man?
How you
Sorry
doing?
about that. Sorry about that. Happy to be here for episode 34 of the Blitz. Just chugging along week after week, almost to the playoffs. A lot of stuff going on. Got a decent show for you today, and I think it's going to be a good one.
Yes, yes. What's up, everybody in the chat? How y'all doing? I see you trucking with JC. Fins talk. Fins for life. Yeah. Representing the Dolphins up in this piece, baby. You stop that gagging stuff.
Sorry, I was choking on
yeah.
Shit.
Beautiful, not so beautiful Wednesday evening up here in New York. New York.
Wintery mix.
Yeah, a wintry mix of snow and flurries and light rain.
Snow and flurry. Nice.
Anyway, last night, Mikey, I was on with the boys at the AFC East roundtable, the Dolphins roundtable. It was a real good time. I got to meet Miss Fins and my boy CB83. Shout out to him and TD. We got to talk it up about our Miami Dolphins, our struggling Miami Dolphins. You know how that is.
Yeah, that was a highly entertaining show. I enjoyed it very much. It was nice seeing 4 Dolphins fans just man, TD and what is it, CB or C8?
CB83.
CB8, yeah, man, they just would not let stuff go. It was a good. I enjoyed it, man. I watched the whole thing. I think you guys had some good points in there, and I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a good show.
Definitely. To anybody in the chat, if they want to check us out or you want to join the show, hit us up. We threw the link up there. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to shoot the junk, give us your opinions on what's going on in the NFL. Today I seen a tweet, Tyreek Hill, he on Twitter again, or X or whatever you want to call it. Man, he can't just stay off that thing. He liked to create controversy and make people think something's going on when it's not. He said he let out a tweet saying, "Gotta go, coach," or something like that. Of course, half the Dolphins fan base is going crazy with, "What's that mean? He want to be traded?" Or blah 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 blah. I don't think his contract's tradable. Really, we'd be $27,000 in dead cat money if we traded him. So I don't believe Tyreek's going anywhere, but I'm sure he's not happy. He's had probably the worst year of his career this year. The Dolphins have not been very good this year, obviously. There's numerous reasons, and you can be on either side of the fence, whether it's Tua, whether it's the coach, whether it's the GM, whether it's this, whether it's that. I think it's a pretty even mix. I'm not a Tua lover. I'm not a Tua hater. But Tua is at fault for a lot of our problems. But I'm not going to sit there and blame everything on Tua. The play calling's been bad. The offensive line's been bad. The way this roster is built has been bad. So we got into a debate about Tua, of course. That's everybody's go-to subject when discussing the Miami Dolphins, and yeah, it got a little heated at points, but it was all in good fun. We all just want what's best for this football team, and we're just a little divided on
How
what
to
that
get there.
is.
Yeah. I mean, you guys,
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody had good points. Like, even though they're, obviously TD feels a certain way, CB8 feels a certain way, you feel a certain way, you all feel a certain way, and only one of you wouldn't say, yeah, we need to get rid of Tua. But I mean, I think you should I think you guys need to move on for Tua. The Giants, we just went through it with Daniel Jones. We kept giving him time, but I think Tua's better than Daniel Jones too, though. So.
Without a doubt. I mean, Tua's a good quarterback. He hasn't been able to put it together when we need it the most. And I mean, if you can't do that, then what use are you? If you can play phenomenal and be an MVP type player when you're playing bad teams or when the games don't matter as much, but when we do play a good team, you can't perform. I mean, that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And I think this fan base has been traumatized of so many years of losing and so many years of dysfunctional quarterback play since Dan Marino retired that a lot of people hold on to that and don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose winning 10, 11 games. You don't want to lose the excitement that we had the last couple years with 50-yard bombs to our Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and scoring 70 points against the Broncos. You don't want to lose that excitement. You don't want to go back to winning 3 games. You know what I mean? So, and then other people just forget that we went through that and think that it's so easy to replace this quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find a franchise quarterback. We can get rid of Tua, but who's to say the next quarterback is going to be as good? You can draft any quarterback and think that Shador Sanders, who's to say he was a finalist for all the awards in college football, but who's to say that he's going to come to the pros and perform?
Right.
You don't know that. So I mean, it's just a random lottery draw, and like I said, I'm on the fence about whether we should keep Tua or whether we should not. I think he's capable of getting us to the playoffs, but I don't know if he's capable of beating the elite quarterbacks and the elite teams around this league when it matters the most.
Right. Those little details in there, it's like you guys are beating every team that is under 500 or isn't good, but when it comes to the top teams, you can't beat them. And if you can't beat a good team in the regular season, I mean, what would you have to look forward to in the playoffs? I mean, you're going to just automatically assume that you're screwed, So, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's all Tua. I think you're like you guys were talking about last night, McDaniel. I think he's got a little bit of an issue. I think, like you said, he's too friendly. He needs to take control. You guys need a coach that leads. You need a coach that gets the team centered and all on the same page. And it's just, I don't know. You guys have so much.
You got to hold people accountable.
Exactly. And you guys got so much talent on your team. It's frustrating for me to watch because, I picked Houston, like, everybody knows I picked Houston, but I still was rooting for you guys. I was still rooting for the Dolphins because I believe that they got a good team. They got offensive line issues. Yeah, they got Tua's not throwing the ball down the field issues. I don't know what that's about, but it doesn't make sense to me because you guys have such a decent setup and got superstars at wide receivers, and I really expect more from you guys this year. I was kind of excited because my team obviously is in the crapper, and at least I get to root for somebody's team. And who else would I root for other than your team? My host, the host of the Blitz.
I mean, I definitely appreciate that. This team was just built the wrong way. We don't have an offensive line, and it's not just about protecting the quarterback. And Tua gets the ball out faster than any other quarterback in the NFL. That's just the type of offense that we're running. But just because we get the ball out fast doesn't mean that we don't need a good offensive line. We can't rush the ball right now. And if you can't run the ball and there's no threat of you running the ball, defenses can prepare for the pass. And if you're not throwing deep, them safeties can come up and they lock down that whole center of the field. So this team they need a fresh start. And I think it starts with getting rid of Chris Greer and getting a new general manager in here. And maybe that's enough. Maybe Mike McDaniel needs to go. We're stuck with Tua for at least one more year. I think in 2 years we can get out fairly cheap, maybe 10, 15 million in dead cap. But next year, Tua is our quarterback. And either we can make the best of it or we can try the tank. And whenever we try the tank or something like that, it goes bad. Last time we lost our first round draft pick and our coach snitched on us and Tom Brady was supposed to come here. All types of stuff happened. Brian Flores was a rat, and oh man.
Well, that's the thing though, is if Tua's playing next year, you can almost count on him getting injured. You can almost count on him missing a few games.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. How are you going to build a team around a quarterback that you're not sure he's going to be there.
Right. And that's what we
You,
went.
you can't be in the whole 5 games, 6 games, and expect to come out of it. That's the position we were in this week or this year. This team, if Tua wanted to miss those games, we wanted to be eliminated from the playoffs right now.
Right, but you'd still probably not be going anywhere in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I mean, because this is the Tua that shows up, and our team's still built the same. I mean, that's not gonna. If Tua didn't miss those games, it's not gonna give us an offensive line.
So do you think it's just Tua and do you think he gets nervous in pressure? Do you think he gets nervous when it comes to games like that, or do you think it has to do more with coaching and game planning?
I think it's some of both. I think it's a little bit of both. TD last night. What's up, Bob's Adventure? We're doing great. How you doing tonight? To be honest, I think it's a little bit of both. TD last night said that he doesn't feel like Tua reads the field and doesn't see the progressions. He's just looking to see if someone's open, or he might try to look off the safety, but he's not really reading the defense. I mean, I don't believe Tua has came this far and to become a professional football player, and you can't read a defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just hard. You know what I mean? And it's hard to believe. But there's no excuse that safety. I mean, if you were reading the field, those safety and corner interceptions on Sunday, I mean, it was visible. He didn't come out of nowhere. He threw it right to him. And a lot of his interceptions are like that. You're like, what's going on? He threw it right to him. So I don't know what he's seeing. Maybe he's just so concentrated on the receiver and where the ball goes. And I mean, lots of times he is throwing the ball before the receiver is even looking at him. He's an anticipation thrower. So
well,
I don't know. I can't give you the exact answers, but I know that it's not good enough to win this division. And it's not good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Right. Maybe.
Thank you. We appreciate the support, brother. Any support, we love it. Thank you so much.
But yeah, I mean, maybe you guys do have offensive line problems. I mean, and Tua does. He's forced to get rid of the ball quick, so maybe he's just in that mindset to where he's got to get rid of the ball, and he's not. He can't. He doesn't really have time to go through progressions. You know what I mean? Anytime he comes up a defense that can sit there and get to him, I mean, he's got to get rid of the ball constantly, real quick. So if you don't have time, I mean, it gets hard to read those progressions. You're going to make more mistakes. So, I don't think it's all Tua either. So,
well, people will say on those interceptions, and they're not wrong, that the pocket was clean, like he wasn't under pressure per se. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're constantly under pressure, you're always thinking about it. You know what I mean? You're gonna rush. You're gonna be antsy with the ball. You know what I mean? So I'm sure there is some of that, but I mean, that's not an excuse. You can't use that as an excuse. You can't. You got a job to do. You gotta do it, or we got to get somebody that can. And so it's been 5 years. He's shown that. I think he's 3 in a crazy number against winning teams, and it's just not good enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be able to stick in there and take the hits. I mean, you got guys like Baker Mayfield. He'll sit there and hold that ball until he can't, and he just takes a licking, every time. But the other problem with that is you can't really expect Tua to do that either, because he's like 1 or 2 concussions away from possibly his career being over. So I don't know. You guys are in a tough spot. It's kind of sad that he has the concussion issue, and I think that plays a big role in a lot of how he plays. So yeah,
that's the thing with Chris Greer. Like, he knew that, not necessarily the concussions, but he knew Tua was an injury-prone quarterback when he drafted him. Yeah. Armando says it's hard to make everything perfect like Alabama in the NFL. Absolutely. Like, you're not going to have the best offensive line with the most talented receivers and the most talented running back and NFL worthy defense. Like you can't. Alabama, these kids get to choose where they go, and there's no salary cap. They can't do that in the NFL. If they did that in the NFL, yeah, Tua would win multiple Super Bowls. You know what I mean? If you had the perfect team, but you can't put the perfect team around them, especially when you got to pay them 50 plus $1 million a year when you're taking up such a big chunk of that salary cap. That's why teams are trying to find these quarterbacks that are NFL ready coming out of the draft, because they can be good quarterbacks and you can surround them with so much talent that you can make up for their minor flaws that they have being young quarterbacks, and you can shoot to the Super Bowl because you're not paying the quarterback $50 million. You can go have 3 stud receivers and a running back and a stellar defense. That's why with your New York Football Giants, you guys are about to go into a great position if you can hit on the quarterback position, because you're going to have so much cap space to put talent around whatever quarterback you decide to go with, that, you know what I mean? You guys should be jumping up the ladder quick.
Right.
And that's the way to go now, is to find that quarterback that comes out NFL ready, that can produce, a la Bo Nix, a la Jaden Daniels, you know what I mean? CJ Stroud. Look what CJ Stroud came out last year, balled out. They went and got Stephon Diggs. They went out and got what's the running back's name? From Cincinnati. Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Mixon.
You know, they have a stellar defense. Like, Armando. The Dolphins are done until 2026. Yeah, I think that's the first year they can get out underneath the Tua contract without a huge cap hit. And I expect that to happen unless he does unless his team makes a deep playoff run next year. And I can't foresee it happening. I mean, I can see them making the playoffs next year. Absolutely. This team will be a playoff team if Tua's healthy. But unless he gets to the championship game or the Super Bowl, I believe they're going to get out that contract. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put all their eggs in trying to move up to get Archie Manning. And I can't say I would be mad at that. That kid looks like he's a beast. Like he runs 20 miles an hour, Mike.
I know, man.
And he got a rocket arm. He's accurate. He's a Manning. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
that blood is something special over in the Manning household.
Well, that's one thing the Mannings have that Tua doesn't, is they play games. Like Eli had 300 and something plus straight starts, like without, you know what I mean? Those are the kind of quarterbacks you need. Them quarterbacks that can just take a lick. And I mean, he looked goofy taking the hits. I mean, it's Eli. He was like, but he got back up, brushed it off, and he just moved on. And that's a big thing in the NFL. You got to be able to brush things off and move on. You got to pretend it didn't happen, and you got to get back up and keep playing. But Tua can't do that. He's unfortunately at a disadvantage. Like we said, one good hit and he's done. And that's just not healthy.
Last night I found a humorous CBA3. He was talking about short yardage, and he was like, I don't understand why they don't sneak it with Tua. I was like, bro, like, he'll die.
Yeah,
he'll die. You can't sneak it with him. He'll die.
Bro, I was in
Tua going head first into a 300-pound players. Like,
we were watching your show. We were watching the show. I had my mom in the car, and even my mom said, what did he say? He can't do that. He'll die. like when my mom, who barely watched football, sits there and says shit like that. Like, I mean, come on. But yeah, he's just at that one. He's just at a disadvantage. That was a wild comment he made about that. Why don't he learn to do? Why don't the coach get us into the QB sneak? I mean, I thought that was pretty obvious as a Dolphins fan. You should know the answer to that, bud.
Yeah, I don't think he thought it through, like what he was saying.
But it is true. It's nice to be able to have a quarterback, and it's nice to be able to, do the QB sneak for 1 or 2 yards. I mean, that is a big disadvantage that you guys are at on 4th down.
Oh,
You can,
absolutely.
so I agree with him on that point, but for him to think that Tua would do it, absolutely not.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this Thursday night game we got tomorrow night. It has big playoff implications. We got the Denver Broncos and the Chargers of LA. It's still hard for me not to refer to them as the San Diego Chargers. I think forever in my head they'll be the San Diego Chargers, but
hey man, I catch myself calling Washington the Redskins all the time. Like it's just that's what you grew up with.
I've heard rumors that might come back. I mean, I don't know how much of that's real news and fake news, but the Native American community was very upset about that being taken away from them. Like you got all these people out there that want to complain about everything, and they want to cause problems, and it's racist, the Native American. Well, the Native Americans don't feel like that. How you gonna speak up for them? And you know what I mean?
It's not like
what's the word for them type of people? What are they? Whatever. Well, anyway, yeah. Like, people are crazy.
Redskins are gone. Redskins are gone like Aunt Jemima. I mean, it's just it's crazy.
That's another thing is that Black people, African American people, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a racist bone in my body, and I know I have a lot of Black friends that were like, when I was a kid, like Aunt Jemima, we used to look up like Aunt Jemima. Them pancakes were good, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't see it as a negative thing. And I was like, yeah, like now I see it in the store and it's called like Maple Barn or something. I don't know even what it, but I used to like that Aunt Jemima, you know what I mean? And Mrs. Butterworth, you know what I mean? Miss Butterworth was my girl.
It's just the thing that people are making big things out of nothing. And I mean, come on, things have been a certain way for so long. I mean, if it comes off racist, I mean, that's one thing, but I don't see how it being Aunt Jemima or the Washington Redskins, like, I don't see that being offensive. I mean, like you said, if anything, it shows up for the Native American community. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll move on. I ain't really trying to get into all that, but I'm very disappointed.
We'll end up getting censored. Or
I don't like when they change names that have been a staple for so long, unless it's highly offensive. Then I mean, I could see it, but.
Air Cecil says what truly needs to happen is teams need to start paying players, not positions. Quarterbacks are getting paid more than their worth and handicapping teams. Listen, they keep saying, like Tua said it when he was going up for his negotiations, the market is the market. I don't know when this started to become a thing that just because you're the next person to get a contract and because your team wants to re-sign you, that you get the highest paid contract in NFL history. I don't know when that became a thing. Like, all right, I got a quarterback. He's coming up to contract year. I like him. He's a decent quarterback. I don't want to have to go find another quarterback. He's good, but he's not great. I want to re-sign him. Well, the only way I can re-sign him is by giving him the richest deal in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why? He's the 15th best quarterback in the NFL. Well, it's the market. No. You put up the 15th best stats. You're the 15th best quarterback. I want to pay you the 15th best money.
Yep.
You're not Josh Allen. Why do you get more money than Josh Allen? Why do you get more money than Patrick Mahomes? It does not make sense to me. It drives me absolutely nuts. And I don't know when it became a thing, but teams need to put a stop to it. But I don't think it'll ever end because if you don't pay them, somebody else will. Mm-hmm. Bottom line, that's the facts. Somebody else is going to be desperate enough to pay that player. They're never going to be able to be unity between teams where they're like, listen, we're going to put a stop to this. We're going to stop doing it. No, some team's going to be desperate and like, oh, I'm going to go pay them. Look at Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Cleveland was so desperate that they guaranteed his whole contract. His whole contract. Ask Cleveland how they're feeling about that right now.
Yeah,
Ask
exactly.
Cleveland how they're feeling about that right now. A change does need to be made, though. We can't continue just because it's your turn to get a contract doesn't mean you should be the highest paid player in NFL history.
No,
If
absolutely.
you're not better than Patrick Mahomes, if you're not better than Josh Allen, if you're not better than Jordan Love, if you're not better than the other top quarterbacks in the NFL, you shouldn't. It shouldn't be a thing.
It shouldn't be a thing anyway. Like, you know, us as normal citizens, we have jobs, we go to work, we get paid what our abilities are. You know, if I have an extra degree or something, you might get more pay. And that's how growing up, I was always taught that it works. You know, the more you put into something, the more you sit there and get better at something than somebody else, you're going to get paid more than that guy behind you if you do better than him. And I don't get it. It's sports nowadays. It's just money, 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 money. And they just throw it away like it's easy. Well, it is easy. They all got the money, but it's not the point. Why should you have to worry about that? Why should you have to pay twice what somebody's worth? It doesn't make sense. I mean, you're giving a guy 50 million, maybe he's worth 25. You give him 25 and then you still got 25 to play with. So I think it really just hinders the amount of decent games we could have. Could you imagine if these guys weren't just given money and they got what they were worth and then they had more money to spend on their O-line or spend on a wide receiver or spend on a running? We'd have our playoffs would be ridiculous. They'd be so much better. We'd have so much more talent. And I just think it'd be a better experience for everybody.
Absolutely. What up, Cosa Nostra? Fins up, baby. Fins up. Drew Rosenhaus and his clients robbed the Dolphins year in and year out. You're absolutely right. The movie Jerry Maguire was made after Drew Rosenhaus. I don't know if you ever watched that movie or if you knew that, but yeah, the movie Jerry Maguire made after Drew Rosenhaus. I mean, I understand that they get paid so much money. The NFL is such a profitable business. You know what I mean? It's so lucrative that it's not fair that the owners are the only ones that get paid so much money. But I just don't see how the average players get to go out there and make so much money just because I want to re-sign you to a contract. It's just not fair, and I'm not a fan of that. And the NFL teams need to come together and put a stop to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're Patrick Mahomes and you're up for a contract and Josh Allen's making this much, but Josh Allen might be considered the better quarterback, I can understand you trying to jump over him and get paid more, but you shouldn't come from, I'm the best quarterback to the highest paid player in the league. It's just not what's up.
The players should be able to hold these teams hostage. And that's pretty much what they do.
Absolutely. Remember,
story.
like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also, remember, January 1st, $1,000 giveaway for all subscribers. We're going to give you a chance to win $1,000. You must be subscribed and you must be present for the show that night. Let's see. Or you can be the Bucks and get a guy like Baker who doesn't take the max contract. He wants the best situation for him and the team. Well, I mean, when Baker signed his deal, he kind of became a float around quarterback. You know what I mean? He was jumping here and there. He wasn't a franchise quarterback per se. He was more, you know what I mean? Baker's outperforming his contract, of course. And his deal right now with the way he's playing is a steal, but I mean, just like Sam Darnold's playing above his level, but at the end of the year, I bet you Sam Darnold wants a big paycheck. You know what I mean? I bet you Sam Darnold's going to sign a lucrative paycheck. Somebody's going to pay him. Somebody's going to overpay Sam Darnold this offseason off of 1 year.
Yep.
And I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but would I go give Sam Darnold $45+ million? No. Do you go and you give Kirk Cousins $45+ million coming off of ACL? Look at Atlanta. They just benched him. Going with the rookie, Michael Penix.
Yep.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about Atlanta deciding to go the other way. Kirk Cousins is just falling off a bridge. Mike, you got some stats on that, don't you?
Yeah, so first 9 games, Kirk Cousins had 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. He had a 5-3 record. He had a 101.07 rating at average, and he had a 69% completion percentage. His last 5 games, he's thrown 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions, and in the last 5 games, and they're 2-4. He's had 66.5 rating, and then he's had a 63% completion percentage. So every single stat has gone down. He's got 3,500 on the year, 18 touchdowns, 16 picks, and an 88 rating overall now. So yeah, his first 9 games compared to his last 5, it's night and day, and he's definitely fallen off. So I understand why they're sitting him. I mean, it is a kind of a bad time of the year. I mean, you're kind of trying to make the playoffs, but when you got a guy who's had 5 games and thrown 1 touchdown and 9 picks, I don't blame him. I think it's probably something I would do too if I was in charge. So,
well, yeah, I mean they had a couple game lead in the division. They just blown that. Like, I don't think they know what to do. I mean, but the fan base is going crazy right now. But you just signed him, so like, it's a mess over there. It's a mess. Michael Penix is 25 years old, I think. He's an older quarterback. People were shocked when they took him in the first round after signing Kirk Cousins, but I mean, I guess we'll see what they got. I guess we'll see what they got with Michael Penix this week, and they'll have to decide what to do with Kirk Cousins and his large contract at the end of the year.
ugh. It's terrible. It's absolutely
So let's
terrible.
get back to this. We kind of got off topic. The Broncos and the Chargers, playoff implications. I don't really want to discuss this. The Dolphins have the slimmest playoff hope still.
Mm-hmm.
They need the Chargers to lose 2 games, and they need to win out. I think there's a very good chance that the Broncos beat the Chargers this week, so that'll only leave us 1 game out. The Broncos defense has been phenomenal this year. Bo Nix I didn't think he was going to play at the level that he's playing at. He's been great. The Chargers, Jim Harbaugh's got them playing top-notch football. Lad McConkey, he's a phenomenal rookie wide receiver. Who you like in this game?
I got the Chargers, man.
You got the Chargers?
I picked the Chargers. It's close. I got a Chargers 22 to Denver's 20. I just think that the Chargers have a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like the Chargers are gonna. I just gut feeling. I think they're both pretty evenly matched. I think it can go either way. With the Broncos defense and Bo Nix, I think they can do a lot, but Bo Nix isn't really. I don't know. I don't think he's really established as consistent yet. So I have a hard time picking the Broncos, even though I like how their defense plays. I still got the Chargers. I like the Chargers. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos, and it's not because I think the Miami Dolphins are gonna make the playoffs, or that I have any hope that they're gonna make the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going with the Broncos.
Kind of figured.
And I don't think that the New England Patriots are going to beat the Chargers next week neither. And the Miami Dolphins are going to win all their games. But yeah.
Yeah, just to think you guys are going to win out, that's kind of hard.
Cosa Nostra, wild card teams are Baltimore, Chargers, and Denver. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's what it's looking like. I mean, if the Chargers do slip up, the Colts do have a winnable schedule, but I don't know if I trust their quarterback to win games that he's even supposed to. So I believe that's the 3 wild card teams. Yes. Tua needs to call what he sees at the line earlier and screw McDaniel's lane process. Yeah, I mean, the play calling has been horrendous. People can blame just Tua, and Tua deserves a lot of the blame. Trust me. I'm not saying he doesn't. He does. But to say that Mike McDaniel's play calling hasn't been horrible this year, to say that his time management hasn't been horrible the whole time he's been here, to say that Chris Greer hasn't been horrible, getting talent, not addressing the offensive line, not addressing the defensive line. I mean, come on. There's a lot of blame to go around.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, they need to do something. This Miami Dolphins team, they got another tough one. And I know that the San Francisco 49ers aren't a very good team record-wise this year, but I think it's still going to be a tough game. Shanahan knows Mike McDaniel better than anybody, and they run similar schemes. So I think we're probably going to have a tough time. We're going to have a tough time. I mean, Shanahan's the teacher and McDaniel is the student. And usually in those situations, the student comes out on the losing end. Let's do the power rankings, Mikey. Who's your top 5 teams in the NFL after, what was it, week 15? We're going on week 16?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, that's right. I got Kansas City Chiefs number 5. I think they have offensive line issues. I think that if a team can get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, I think they have a good shot of beating them as long as they keep the ball away from them at the end of the game. Then I got Minnesota, which is, I like Minnesota. I don't, you thought that they would fall off, and you kind of almost had me there. I almost went with it too, but I kind of fought back, and I'm happy I did. So I got Minnesota number 4. Number 3, I got Detroit. Just because they do have some injuries piling up, and it's getting a little more concerning that they're not going to be as dominant. So yeah, that's where I got them. And then I got Philly number 2. This was hard. I wanted to put Philly number 1, but I can't ignore Josh Allen, and I can't ignore what he is capable of. I really can't. Josh Allen's been playing amazing, phenomenal football. It's just it's hard for me to put Philly above them, but so that's my top 5. I got Kansas City number 5, Minnesota 4, Detroit 3, Philly 2, and Buffalo number 1. What do you got, Big
Remember,
C?
guys, there's a link at the top of the screen if you guys want to join us. We'll start doing that whenever we go live. We're gonna put a link at the top of the chat, and if you guys want to jump on and discuss some stuff for a few minutes, we're more than willing to have you be a part of the show, because this show is for you just as much as it is for us. We want to hear from you. We want to meet you. We want to talk to you. We want to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Armando, which way you going on that? Is Philly 1 or is Philly 5? Due respect for Peyton and Harbaugh for turning their respective franchises into competitors so soon. Yeah, I mean, the way this Denver Broncos team looked last year against the Miami Dolphins, I didn't think that he was gonna have this team being a playoff team the very next year. So shout out to him. Sean Payton is probably one of the better offensive minds in football. And Jim Harbaugh, he's been a fantastic coach everywhere he's been. San Francisco, Michigan, Now doing it with the Chargers.
Yep.
They just got a football family. Him and John. John's one of the better coaches in the league, and of course, Jim was a quarterback in the NFL, so he's super intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely. So Armando got Philly number 1, Buffalo 2, Green Bay 3rd, KC 4th, and Detroit 5th. I mean,
Ooh,
hey,
Detroit took a drop for you, huh, Armando? Cut ties with Wilson and his money. Yeah, I mean, but look at Wilson doing big things over. I mean, he's not playing MVP football over in Pittsburgh, but he's playing damn good. I mean, I'm only going to speak for myself. I thought Russell was dead in the water. I didn't think he was ever going to be a productive starter in this league again after what I seen in Denver. So shout out to Russ for turning that around. Oh, let's see my top 5. Let's go. I gotta give Minnesota their flowers. Number 5. I still don't trust Sam Darnold, man. There's just something about them former Jets quarterbacks, and there has to be a reason. I don't know. I just don't trust them. But this defense is playing lights out. They got superstar wide receivers. Aaron Jones is playing lights out at the running back position. I got Minnesota at 5. They can steal that NFC North division away from the Lions, which is kind of crazy. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Any team that has Pat Mahomes on the offensive side of the football, Andy Reid is the quarterback, Chris Jones on the defensive side, sprinkling a little Gronk, or not Gronk, but geez, Travis Kelce. Yeah, sprinkling a little Kelce and a little Taylor Swift.
Swift.
Yeah, any team that has those players is going to be a competitive team, and they're the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions. So as long as Patrick Mahomes can shake it off that injury sustained last week, I think Kansas City's still going to be dangerous when it comes playoff time. Number 3, I got the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions were at the top of my list for the longest. But their defense is beat up. This team has suffered a boatload of injuries. Now they lost Montgomery for the season. It hurts. And Dan Campbell, he's a great coach, don't get me wrong, but he takes too many chances. The onside kick last week, I didn't like it. There is such a thing of being too aggressive.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as being too aggressive, and I think sometimes he does too much. So I got him at number 3.
I forgot about that. That was I was actually
Nostra, are you talking about Jim Harbaugh or Vrabel, or John Harbaugh or Vrabel? Either or, I like the Harbaugh over Vrabel.
Yeah.
I like both Harbaughs over Vrabel.
Yeah.
Detroit limping into the playoffs. Yeah, that's why they're number 3 for me. I'm going with who has that number 1 defense. Yeah, I feel you. I understand that. Vic Fangio. Man, don't get me started on Vic Fangio. I still don't understand how the Philadelphia Eagles didn't get a tampering charge, how they didn't get punished at all. Vic Fangio, everybody in the world knew he was going to Philly to be their defensive coordinator. He was definitely in contact with the Philadelphia Eagles while he was still a member of the Miami Dolphins. I think it was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, admiration for Chiefs, top-notch franchise. Absolutely. Why can't our Miami Dolphins be a top-notch franchise? Why can't we offer What up? What up, CB83? What up, baby? Why can't if I was Stephen Ross, I'd throw $1 billion right at Andy Reid and say, "Come on over here, big guy. Come give me a come over here, big red. Give me a kiss. I'll give you a, a Brazilian dollars."
Oh, here we go with the Brazilian again.
Jalen Hurts is the Eagles' Achilles heel. Yeah, I mean, but he played lights out last week, right? He played lights out last week, but yeah, they got a stellar defense and a hell of a running game, good offensive line. I mean, that's the key to winning football games, especially in the winter months. Number 2, I got the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Josh Allen is playing phenomenal. He's playing MVP football right now. It's his award to lose right now. He doesn't have the weapons everybody else does. He's just playing lights out football. But this defense has not played top-notch football the last few weeks. And I think they're asking Josh to do too much. And when he has to play them football teams week in and week out that are the top of the top, the elite of elite, I think it can end up catching up to him. And I wish there was more people that give him a hand. But I got Buffalo at number 2. And number 1, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. For reasons I had just spoke about, Philadelphia's running game is out of control. Saquon Barkley having an MVP type of season. Jalen Hurts got 1 million touchdowns rushing. They got star wide receivers. They got a great tight end. They got a good offensive line. They got a beast of a defense. They're made for playoff football. They're made for wintry, cold weather football. And they're just hard-nosed, tough team. And I think they're probably, if I had to say, they're probably my Super Bowl favorites to win it all right now. As long as AJ Brown can stop crying, he got his passes this week. Hopefully you can get off your little period, your little crybaby thing, and but that's my top 5. That's my 5.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little irritated. I never thought
I picked the Eagles.
Yeah, man, I was gonna do it, but I was just like, I was trying to think in my head. I was like, if I'm gonna pick Philly number 1, and he's going, "Oh, just because you're on Saquon's dick, bro." Like, I wasn't trying to hear that. But now I'm mad. Because that would have totally whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, who's your all's top 5? We got Armando's. Who's everybody else's top 5?
Well, who's your number 1?
Yeah, who's your top NFL team right now? Who's your Super Bowl favorite? If you had to bet the house, the kids, the wife, the dog, who you betting? Who you betting on?
Please remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, leave us a message, shout us out. We're good. We love you.
MVP favorites. Mike, go. Let's go. Let's catch it real quick.
Saquon.
Stop it.
No, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'll say Saquon.
He had like 60 yards last week.
It's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen. I know it's Josh Allen. I would like to see Saquon.
Cosa Nostra, the only I like is Detroit or Kansas City. Yeah, everybody, Josh Allen. Yeah, I agree. Josh Allen is the MVP right now. I think Saquon's third. I think Josh Allen's first, just for what he's did. But if you really look at stats, I think Lamar's still ahead of Josh Allen in most things, which is pretty crazy. Lamar Jackson's a 2-time MVP. This is Lamar Jackson's best year. It's just Josh Allen's looks so phenomenal at times that you know what I mean, you overlook that. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar wins it again. But right now, I mean, I think everybody's riding Josh Allen's coattails. Yeah, I try to be nice.
I mean, he's putting up 5-6 touchdowns a game. He's doing things no quarterback's ever done, passing,
Well, Lamar
rushing.
had 5 last week against a bum team. It was a bum team, but who did they play? He had 5 touchdowns.
You kidding me?
Oh, the Giants.
Yo, shut up. That's why your Dolphins are missing the playoffs too, biatch.
We're not out yet. We're
That's
not
all
done
right.
yet.
You guys want to see some funny stuff? Go back and watch Big C's watch party for that last Dolphins game. But make sure you don't have no little ones around because it's
JA17 is doing it all by himself. Yeah, you would think so, but James Cook has been playing pretty phenomenal for him too. Yeah, but Josh Allen's playing lights out. He's playing top-notch football.
Agreed.
He's also got Derrick Henry. Josh is lifting everyone on that team. Yeah, like I agree. Josh Allen, I mean, Lamar's stats are better though. Lamar's stats are better. But Josh Allen is he's playing MVP football, and I mean he deserves it. He deserves it. I'm not gonna say that Lamar should win it over him, or I mean Josh Allen deserves it. Okay.
Lamar's stats are better, but the Buffalo Bills have a better record. I mean, you can make a lot of arguments. So there's a lot of arguments.
Inflated but better. Yeah, I mean, either way, any way you want to look. I mean, we'll see. Josh Allen could fall back in the Josh Allen ways and throw some interceptions in the last final weeks, and
we'll see. I think that's the problem, though. I mean, with the way Buffalo's defense is, you can't really expect Josh Allen to go out there and get 5 or 6 touchdowns every week, can you? I mean, it just doesn't seem realistic. It doesn't seem, especially once we get into the playoffs and they're playing these top teams. That's what makes me so nervous about Buffalo.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely dangerous that Josh Allen right now, if he don't play the perfect game and play out of his mind, is Buffalo going to be one and done? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to be knocked out quick? If Josh Allen comes out and has a poor performance, or is Buffalo done for? And I still, everybody can say, oh, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season, and they're so much better. But like I said, I've seen this story play out before. I've seen this movie before. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills look unstoppable. They look like the much better team. And then they head over to Kansas City, and Kansas City puts it on them.
Takes their belt off. Takes that belt off.
Yeah. Daddy, all these people that say, oh, Josh Allen's the Dolphins' daddy. Well, Josh Allen got a daddy too. We all got daddies. Josh Allen got a daddy too. His name Patty.
Mine's
Patty
a Jets
Mahomes. Oh, I despise the Bills too. You know who I really hate though? I hate those freaking scumbag ass Jets. I hate the Jets. The Jets are the biggest piece of garbage ass team I've ever seen. I hate them. I hate them. At least the Buffalo Bills fans can brag because they've won division titles. The New England Patriots fans can brag because they've won Super Bowls. The New York Jets have won nothing. They're garbage. Garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. And every time I watch the huddle, man, Richie, Richie be getting me so mad. Richie be getting me so mad over on the huddle. He be laughing, clowning the Dolphins, but the Jets are garbage. Like, how dare you even say something about the Dolphins?
They're garbage, and they had everything set in place for them.
Yeah, cocky as shit. The cockiest fans for no reason I've ever seen. Yes, Costa Nostra. Jets. Suck. I can't stand the Jets fan base. I can't stand the team. They're all garbage. But anyway, I got done with my little rant.
Okay.
Mike's dad's a Jets fan. He's my uncle.
Yeah,
I love him.
So I leave it
He's
alone.
the only one though.
I leave it alone. I'm just like, I leave it alone. I said I wouldn't pick the Jets for the rest of the year, though, and I meant it. So don't expect that from me.
Karen Twist says you're so hot, Big C. Oh, what up, girl? What you doing?
Dang.
How you doing?
Yo, this ain't fucking find a date.
Oh, that's your boy.
This ain't
Dallas
Facebook
Cowboys of
news.
the AFC.
This is
Media darlings, absolutely. All right, folks. We'll see you Friday for NFL Pick'em, our Pick'em, where we pick the games and give you maybe a couple games
I'm
you
down
should
by
bet
3.
on.
Down by 3. I'm coming for you this week.
Mike's down by 3 in our season rankings because Big C know how to pick them winners, baby.
Oh, get out of here. Get
But
out
thank
of
you for joining us. We appreciate every one of you. Remember, we're gonna leave the link at the top of the chat from now on. And if you guys want to jump on and holler at us and talk to us, we'd love to have you. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps the channel. I hope you like our content. We try our best. Things will even get better as we grow. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't forget the January 1st $1,000 giveaway. You got to be a subscriber and you got to be present. Thank you so much. We'll see you Friday. Any closing words, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to say thanks for kicking it with us on the Blitz, brought to you by Game Changers Media. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We appreciate every single one of you to stop by. We appreciate all the comments. We're trying to do things. We're trying to do good things. Be here. Be here for the first. That giveaway, it's a real deal. So sit here and make sure you're here. You're present. You comment. You got to be involved. That's the key. So remember that. But no, have a good Wednesday and Thursday, and we will see you Friday right back here, 8 o'clock.
Fins up, baby! Peace!
Go Giants!
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L, I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Blitz. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my